Welcome to the Kegel Show. My name is Don Agent and I will be your host. And with me today is Matt Russo. Matt, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
Matt is not only an accomplished bowler within his own right on many different levels, but he's also part of our production and filming crew for the Kegel Show. So we thought this would be kind of a nice twist to bring him in here and speak to him about some of his experiences through the different levels of bowling as he's been growing up. Now, you know, I'd like you to really kind of take our audience down the pathway that you've traveled. And really, what stood out for you the most that made you fall in love with bowling and kind of got you to this point?
Well, I started bowling when I was about 3. My parents were involved in bowling in the local center. My mom grew up bowling, and kept going to the bowling center with my mom on a Thursday night, and kept throwing the ball down the lane. And I was like, this is pretty cool. I played baseball for 10 years, and that was my love. Baseball was everything to me. And then I started bowling competitively a little bit when I was like 7 or 8, and I started to win.
Competitive at 7 or 8,
yeah.
That's pretty impressive in itself.
I started to win, and I was like, man, this is really cool. I can win at this, I can do it by myself, and I was good at it. So I decided that I was going to take the bowling route. I stopped playing baseball, and I started winning. Basically what it was is I started to win, and I started to get really good. And I just enjoyed the bowling balls. Like, I enjoyed it. There were so many bowling balls that were out there that we could bowl with or that we could throw. And the colors, seeing the ball go down the lane with different colors fascinated me. It still does today, it fascinates me. But it was just so fascinating to see so many different things. Throwing a ball at a white pin was phenomenal.
A little bit more difficult than most people think.
Yes. It's a lot harder to throw a bowling ball at a pin than it is a baseball over a home plate.
You went through obviously the journey as a youth bowler, and then at some point and at some age, you had aspirations to, want to be able to compete on the world level for the United States, and really you aspired to try out for Junior Team USA and Team USA, and what kind of happened with those results?
For about 3 years, I kept telling my dad, hey, let's go bowl team trials through high school, and he was like, no, wait till you get into college, bowl your first year in college, and then we'll go out there. So I came down here to Weber a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, and I trained here for 6 months in the Weber team, and my first year out of team trials was last January, and I made junior team. I always said to myself, if I'm going out there, I want to make it. I don't want to go out there and be disappointed.
Absolutely.
So I went out there, and I made Junior Team USA. I qualified 3rd with Westlin Lowe, Anthony Simonson, and Kenny Ryan was also
players
there. And they picked some other players as well, and they actually picked one of Weber's former bowlers, Andrew Anderson, got picked on the team. So to me, it's always something I strive for. Team USA is the biggest in bowling besides the PBA Tour, and it's becoming so big internationally that it's an amazing feeling, to be able to say you were a part of Team USA and everything. And then this past year, I went out again to bowl for Team USA to try out, and I made junior team, but I also made the adult team, which I never thought I would have done at this age. It's been done before, but I never thought me personally would have made the adult team at only being 20 years old. And I also won the U.S. Amateur Championship. So it's a new tournament that they brought back 2 years ago. And it's basically an amateur championship for the U.S. So if you're an amateur and you bowl team trials, you're eligible for it. And I won. I qualified first for the step ladder, and I wound up taking home the title. And for me, I just wanted the cup. Like, I'm a huge trophy guy, so I just wanted to come home with a nice cup. But it was an amazing week.
Well, congratulations for that, because I'll tell you, I've had the privilege of being able to not only do the lane maintenance for some of the Team USA events many years ago, but also when I've done World Men's or Women's, and I've been able to kind of watch all the countries that get together. And it's a phenomenal environment. You're gonna thoroughly enjoy this as you continue down this path.
Completely different than anything I've ever bowled before. The competition is so good out there, and it's 5 days on 5 different patterns. And the one thing I can say from my experiences is spare making is huge. Making a spare, making a split turns 170 into 190. That's a lot. With only bowling 5 games a day, it's huge to make spares, and just learning about what bowling balls you need to go to on different patterns, and really be prepared for anything that you're going to face when you're out there.
Now, you spoke earlier, obviously you came down here, you're part of the Weber men's college team. We've had some pretty good success down here. How many men's championships have been won by the team so far?
The men have 2. We have 2 national championships, and the women have 5.
Now, does everybody hear that? The women has 5 national championships.
We recently just won last year. The women won the national championship last year, which was phenomenal. It was amazing. The men had a chance to make the TV show, and we lost, unfortunately. But we're ready this year, so hopefully we do come out on top. But it was an amazing experience watching the women win. We went into Wichita in their own backyard with all of their fans at their reunion, and there was 12 Weber guys sitting in the stands, and we overpowered the 180 crowd. So it was absolutely an amazing experience to see the women win.
Fantastic, fantastic. That just proves behind every great man is a much better woman. Sounds like y'all got some practicing to do here to catch up with the ladies.
Yes, we do. We do.
You know, how is a college environment really differ from all the other bowling environments and venues and formats that you've been a part of?
I have never bowled on a team before. I was always single bowler. I never bowled high school, any of that. So for me coming into Weber, it was completely different. I had to learn a lot about team bowling, coaching, and just the different aspects of it. So in the collegiate setting, it's completely different. A lot of tournaments we bowl Baker, which means that there are 5 guys bowl a game. Each bowler bowls 2 frames. Practicing is different. You don't get as many shots. You don't get to break down the lane, especially if you're left-handed like myself. I'm kind of at a disadvantage because I don't have any other left-hander to break the lane down for me. But a lot of it is understanding that you're not always in the bowl. And that was huge for me to understand, was that being on the bench could be just as fun as bowling. It's so loud between cheers and parents and, people doing silly things or kind of doing the wrong things depending on the situation. But it's really mental. Like, you have to be tough, mentally tough, to get by of all the stuff that goes on in the college setting.
That is fantastic. Now, I got one more question for you. Going forward, all right, you can write your own document of life going forward. What are your dreams as far as bowling's concerned?
Well, I have always thought about going on a tour
Okay.
after I'm done here at Weber. But depending on if the tour grows or not, depends on if I decide that I'm going to go professional. I absolutely love bowling for Team USA and training with them, so I will continue to try and make the team year after year. That will be for sure. I will be bowling regionals after I graduate. So it kind of just looks like, depending on how the tour is going to look, depends on if I decide I'm going to go on the tour. But I will be for surely in the bowling industry for a while. Kegel here is a phenomenal place to be. I'm so glad that I've been able to join the production team of the Kegel show and work with everybody. But I do inspire to be in bowling for a long time and hopefully go out there and win a few titles on the pro tour.
Well, I can tell you on behalf of myself and everybody here that I work with, we're glad to see people your age that have those views and values and are going to continue to take this great sport, farther forward into the future. Matt, I want to thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's about all we have for today's show. Keep those wrenches turning and have a wonderful day.